Hey, traders. Welcome to episode 874, I guess. You're here, and that's awesome, man. So, more selling happened today on the stock market and in crypto. And, I guess we're just looking at the 4 hour. And give me a sound check because I can't tell which audio is drowning out which. I mean, you hear the blizzard noise, and we can turn it off, but figured y'all would want it on because I don't know, it's people with headphones that can really hear this stuff. I can't hear anything from where I am now, so help me out on that. Try to get it figured out. But 8,800, 5.25% down. Talk about some altcoins, dude. Ethereum Classic down 13.5%, EOS down 13%. I mean, you name an S coin, it's down on average 10%. Blood in the streets, man. Sounds okay? Okay, one person saying more music. So, okay, one person keeps saying the same thing over and over and over. That's not gonna work, dude. Music's slightly low. Okay, so I can just turn that up just a little bit. Logan, just let me know. That should be better, somewhat. So I feel like it was just yesterday we talked about, I don't know why you wouldn't see 9150. It just doesn't make sense while we're not there. We were at 9300. So clearly hit 9150. Kind of a joke support. And you've fallen below that. I really, at this point, besides you just being so nuclear oversold on your oscillators on the 4 hour, 60 minute and stuff, why wouldn't we see 8,500? I'm just wondering, because we know historically on the weekly what happens when you fall below 9,500 for real. You go to 8,500. We're not there yet. Another 300 bucks. And hate to be the bearer of bad news looking at this weekly time scale, but that is technically a bearish engulfing candle. And again, if you look left, there's nothing really here until 8,500. Between 8,200 and 8,500, all right? So, again, lower prices seem in order. Look at this, man. Bearish convergence kind of going on where you had a high on price, a lower high with lower levels of positive momentum. You know, things are starting to look not as good as they did on the way up. Things were looking great, primed. If there were more market participants, there was more demand on this asset, the positive momentum could continue to rise on higher prices, but it seems maybe, I'm not trying to say the coronavirus is the reason why you've sold off here, okay, because that's bull crap. I mean, that's just an easy excuse for people to try to make sense of something, when in fact, when the coronavirus was just coming out, Bitcoin was surging, and people were trying to say that Bitcoin was rising the upside, not based on technicals, but because of that crap. So I don't even want to hear that. Maybe it's just you hit a resistance and up thrusted through it, and just there was not enough demand to really keep it propped up above that. You fell below it, and now technically, where would you go on the weekly time scale? 8,500 to 8,200. That's it. Okay? Guess what, chat? 60 on the RSI. Buy on the weekly. Bullish territory. It's over, dude. You ran up. You pretty much up thrusted through the 60 and failed. So the new data isn't looking as good as it was just a week or two ago, 3 weeks ago. My God, it was much better. So, all right. So we had a wave. The wave is pretty much over. We know that looking at the daily. The wave ended. Look, the trend was broken. The trend line. Not only on the price. Before the price broke its trend, the RSI's trend was broken. Look at this. Valentine's Day, you broke it. Bearish engulfing candle. Look where you've gone since that RSI trend line was broken. So right at the 200-day moving average, you've fallen below it intraday, but there has not been candle close confirmation below it yet. Pretty critical, man. You don't want to really be falling below the 200-day moving average. That's not a good sign. And if you do fall below it, you do eventually want to get right back above it. And this is what we talked about, that golden cross that, you know, people were so euphoric about. It's like no matter what happens, it's going to happen. But it's a lagging indicator. You're below the 50-day moving average now. Look, golden cross, February 18th, whatever, President's Day. So now look at this. The leading indicator is the price, the oscillators. I'll show you something very interesting too. Sure, this is patrons earlier today. Hold on. The Gaussian channel. What's happening? Oh, sorry. Let me turn off the snow. The Gaussian channel. You're hitting the inner band of this indicator, right? Touching it. No lower yet. You don't really want to fall below it, man. But something interesting is happening where it looks like the Gaussian channel might be having a bullish crossover soon on the 200-day moving average. It's all lagging anyway, but I mean, that's notable. Huge. Look at the negative momentum continuing to build, and this is the kind of sad thing about Bitcoin right now. Look, I love being optimistic when there's reasons to be, but you know how it is. Oops, when it doesn't make sense to. Right, because you're not oversold on the daily, meaning the market participants wanted to push this price lower. They easily could. We haven't been oversold since December 17th, 2019, which was the bottom of, you know, this correction. So we could be seeing that soon, and that's probably when the safer longs, it would be safer to take a long, I think. I mean, you are at 38 right now. You're in bearish territory on this RSI on the daily. So you have not even hit from your low point to high point a 50% retrace, 84.74, and we know the golden retrace is at $8,000. Don't know if we, I mean, like, yeah, we could see $8,000, but that's breaking below a very, very critical support resistance area back from 2018, right? That's huge, man. You do not want to fall below this 84, 8,500, right? You are approaching it though soon. Look, you've already broken that 9,001. Vegeta's here. You just destroyed Goku. Get wrecked. So is there any viable reason to believe Bitcoin is going to just break to the upside and start making higher highs, higher lows? Not yet. Oh my God, why is it loud now? What's going on with the audio? Jeez, man. Can't catch a break. Jim says golden or death cross on the daily. The price in relation to the cross point is what is important. Well, you saw it, man, right? I mean, how good is that? It's not that great. That's why he's just, it's good, but cool. Great for tweeting and, you know, whatever, jokes and memes with the Jesus chimes and all that. That's about it. And it is a prerequisite, but again, look at the price action now. So you got to wait for better value areas. You got to wait for some sort of reason to buy, right? I mean, look, there was a reason to maybe go long here before this move up. There was a reason to maybe go long, definitely go long, right? There were reasons. We don't have a reason right now. Get mad, get upset. I'm sorry you missed the train down here, but it's like, all right, we look for common retrace, we look for a rally, attempted rally. We either get a lower high or a slightly higher low or higher high, excuse me. This much resistance, it might just be, you know, us selling off 61% of the way. We run up, make a lower high, hit this, you know, 96 to 99.50 area as resistance, and sell off once more and create some sort of amazing harmonic. How cool would it be to get some sort of crazy bullish Gartley? We go down 61% of the way, then we attempt a rally, and we fail, and then we sell off, and then we retrace and go out the 786, and that's where we could moon, right? And then it'd be just something. We're talking, man. We're spitballing. Look, if Scrubs can talk about 5,800 or 1,000, we can joke about, we can meme about potential harmonics in the future. Okay? Right? You're just looking for stuff like this to develop. It's been the first wave, wave one. Now we're like, I think we're on A to B. Then soon, once this reversal happens because we're oversold or something, we'd go B to C, and then C to D would be the larger wave. All right. If it ends up being the 50% retrace, well, then you'd be looking for a deeper retrace here at 88%, which this would be a bat. Or if you had somehow miraculously made a higher high, then you'd be going back to 786. It'd be a cipher. Okay. There's things to think about because right now there's just not, for someone who plays and watches the daily, there's not much opportunity. The 4 hour, dude, there's no bullish divergence. You just really oversold, and that's why you might break to the upside for a little bit to make a lower high and then sell off again. What's up, Shui? Eric, thanks for the $2 or €2 and 34 cents of a euro, whatever. Thank you. Yeah, there always is that idea of maybe the inverse head and shoulders on the weekly. And if you get down there, hey, what is down there? What is confluent with a 78% retrace, chat? It happens to be what your left part of your shoulder would be. All right, that's his idea. I mean, we could pull up. There's other things we need to talk about besides just Bitcoin. You know, the stock market's very crazy. What's been going on? Just give me a sec. And try to get a clean slate so people aren't just like, what's going on, man? Well, I don't know. I mean, we can look at this in log scale real quick. You can remember how we broke out with percentage change, not price change, where people are thinking about potentially down here $7,400. You know, you go down to this area, you create a shoulder, right? And then you'd have something like left type of shoulder or whatever. Of course. And then the head. And then the right shoulder. And then it's like, oh my God. And then you'd have like a neckline. It's with the wick unreal, right? There's that neckline. And then eventually the hopium that people are just smoking, that, right? Inverse head and shoulders, pipe dream. Who knows, man? Maybe. But it hadn't happened yet, right? We haven't even come close to getting to these levels. Again, you know where the next real strong support is that you must hold above, or you'll see much lower prices. 8,500 to 8,200. Okay. I don't know, man, if this will play out. You know, it could just be X, A, B, C, D stuff. All right. Man, I don't know, if it was a cup with handle, wouldn't it be like so much tighter? Wouldn't it be like a flag or something? I don't know. Again, it's already like close to 50% retrace. Close the gap. Did we? Nice. Congratulations, Gap Boys. Yes? Well, I thought that this one was... Oh. I thought we had already filled this gap. Am I crazy? There's another gap, though, right here at 8,500. Where the support is, the major historical support is a gap, too. If you just scale in and you can see it, right? Nothing filled here. So, yeah, you could very well see 8,500 based on the fact that you're not oversold yet. Look at this negative momentum just continuing to build. It's not looking weak. So lower prices definitely seem possible, but we said that yesterday and then the day before that. Once you broke this channel, dude, it's like, and the consecutive lower highs were not good at all, and you just kept failing to break above this critical, 10,000 resistance area. So, okay. Good to see everyone here. Hope you're alive in the chat. If you want to, real quick, let's take a look at just the quad screen, the major indices in the stock market. Dow Jones Industrial, top left. S&P 500, top right. Bottom left is the IWM, or the Russell 2000. Bottom right's NASDAQ. Strong, dude. Can't even believe how well it's holding compared to everything else. But look at this Dow Jones now, chat. I tweeted about this, where it hit the demand line of the channel it's been in since, you know, February of last year. From the top to the bottom real fast. Huge gap that eventually will fill. Could take time, but you think that's going to fill. Just don't know though yet, man. You're oversold now. First time since October of last year, or August of last year. And you're finally touching that 200-day moving average, you know. Besides this one huge dump here, you normally correlate pretty well with that 200. You know, either you fall below it, you rally real fast. And here we are again, man. Pretty weak going into close. It started up like 400 points and then just dumped. I don't know who that was. Oops. Oh my god, it's so bright. Troy Davis, thanks for the sub, dude. Oh man, I think that's what is that? Yeah, 2 more subs till 22,600. Can't believe it, dude. So let's I don't really know too much about what this means, but kind of interesting, and I know there's a lot of polarity with XRP, and that's gonna happen. Oh my god, dude. It's terrible. It's terrible. So there was a Bloomberg article that came out. Ripple can't escape XRP lawsuit. It says could topple the market. And you could read a little bit if you are so inclined. Just Ripple Labs Incorporated failed to persuade a judge to throw out a proposed class action lawsuit that the blockchain payment services provider said could topple the market for XRP, the world's 3rd largest virtual currency. A federal judge in Oakland, California on Wednesday somewhat narrowed the claims against Ripple, but left largely intact a complaint by investors accusing the company of selling unregistered securities. The judge disagreed with Ripple's argument that the lawsuit wasn't timely because it was filed more than 5 years after XRP was offered in 2013. Okay, it's like Ripple said in a November court filing that if the case were to move forward, it would upend and threaten to destroy the established XRP market more broadly, a market involving over $500 billion in trading over the last 2 years. The investors of XRP, chat, you know, the people that watch Alex Cobb's stream and hate TA and come in here to talk crap, those people that are delusional, clouded by emotion, by one single asset, the investors claim they lost money after selling their XRP tokens because they were duped by Ripple's promotional statements. Wednesday's ruling comes amid concern that regulators will find XRP to be an unregistered security and potentially stop its trading. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission hasn't taken a position on whether XRP is a security. So I don't know like so much about what's happening here, but this is pretty groundbreaking stuff, right? I mean, wouldn't you agree? XRP, here we are talking about its terrible performance the past 2 years, even just comparing it to the overall crypto market. But I'm obsessed with XRP. I have to be obsessed with it. You just don't get it, man. All right. I mean, like, how far off are you from your lowest low since 2017? You know, from just December. How close are you? What do is this? I mean, like, from the low to where it hit. I mean, you're like 27% off still. Okay. I mean, 22 cents, a few cents. How deep has this retrace so far? Look at that. It's almost down to a 78% retrace, where Bitcoin's not even at a 50% retrace yet. You get it, right? XRP underperforms Bitcoin on the way up and gets demolished way worse than Bitcoin on the way down. You know, a lot of alts have been like that too, for sure. But this one has just been just over and over and over. Underperforms and then outperforms on the selling. Yeah, imagine saying XRP is the standard. For what, dude? What is it for the standard for? Most potential, bullish potential. If Bitcoin's not showing potential for bullish price action, then I wouldn't want to put my money in an S coin right now. Because you think the S coins can do anything when Bitcoin's dumping? No, they'll just follow. And they have, like, beautifully. We talk about it all the time. That's why we look at Bitcoin first every day. And that's why we spend so much time analyzing it. Because even before you look at any S coin, you have to look at Bitcoin and thoroughly analyze it. That's it. Crypto Omega, what do I think about Lisk and Icon? I think they're going to dump into oblivion until Bitcoin pumps, and they're probably just going to make another lower high than they've always done. Lower highs, lower lows. C-Dog says, can Bitcoin realistically still pull some comeback kid S to 11,000 in the short term? Yeah. Not 11K probably, but probably like it could come back up to like 9,600 to test. But man, you should remember between 9,600 and 9,950, that zone of historical resistance, super powerful, as we can see. Look what we just did. We just spent like 2 weeks churning, and finally one side won, and it was the sellers, and now look where we're going, straight to 8,500. You know, we're only a few $100s away from that critical historical support resistance. So guess what? Just think about it. Use your mind here. If Bitcoin drops $300 more, do you think any altcoin's going to go up? Probably not.
Rothschilds never lose money.
What's up, Raj, man? Thanks for the, I think $5. Something like that. Thank you, dude. Much love. Yeah, dude. I'm so deep in XRP, man. No, I mean, I own XRP. I own like many. If it's on Coinbase, I probably own it. And that's because I don't sell my crypto tips. They just, you tip me in crypto, boom, it just sits there. It looks here and it listens. But man, I just can't. I mean, like that kind of stuff breaking on XRP, it's like, dude, they were the most vocal, I mean, community out there. And this happens, man. I don't know. What's going to happen with the IPO? That's correct, Crypto Fractal. If Bitcoin doesn't go up, your S coins won't go up, most likely. Like 97 to 98% chance it won't go up. Like it's like, why fight that? Why fight against Bitcoin when it's creating a new wave and it's not showing any kind of divergence? Now, I'm telling you, right? We're on the A to B part of a harmonic, or you know, just the wave analysis, which are short waves. We're going on the shorter wave, and I think once Bitcoin eventually gets oversold on the daily, it would, or maybe it's too overbought now in the 4 hour, as we know that Bitcoin is sitting at.
Hey Lord, hope you are safe from the coronavirus
21.
XRP. Could you please take a look at Rio ASX Smile?
What's up, Robot? Thanks for the 332. Sure. Hold on a sec. So Bitcoin, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Bitcoin's at like, 21 or something. So it's getting really, really oversold on the 4 hour, 60 minutes. So you might get some sort of sideways action, slightly up a little bit, you know, just churning for that 4 hour to get, you know, out of oversold territory before another dump would occur. All right. So that just means like doing nothing, like on daily candles for, you know, a day or two. Or, I mean, since we have broken critical support, I mean, where are we right now? We fell below 91.50, the scrub one. Now the real one, $300 away, with the daily being not oversold? Why would we not go to 8,500? I just don't know why. Okay. Rhea. Bullish engulfing candle today. Oh my god. I don't know, man. Yeah, it was oversold. MACD showing a little divergence. Yeah, huge uptrend, but a big double top, man. Like insane double top. It's kind of scary. All right, one top, two tops on the weekly. Or on the, sorry, this is the daily. So, I mean, just too many gaps to fill. I don't even know. We talk about gap fill down at freaking 88 bucks. Yeah, I mean, oversold with maybe divergence developing. The earnings? Was earnings today? No, it was yesterday. It didn't do anything. So, what are you looking at? Like a wedge or something, maybe? I don't know, man. Maybe. See, look at that. It's like dirt. Really? Can we do any kind of harmonic here? I mean, I guess you're at some sort of support. You're below it, and then there's one right here, too. Low to high, 618. So you're at the golden retrace, some perceived area value. I just don't know what this macro, you know, what's going to happen. I mean, there's a gap fill at $95. I don't really see much of like a pattern to trade or anything like that, right? I mean, I like the engulfing, but dude, you know the deepest value area is going to be 88 bucks and 85.46, 786, 886. But I'll say what I see on the weekly, man. I mean, look at this effing double top. That's nasty, dude. Really nasty. Huge pattern. Yeah, look, no real, I mean, historical support on this asset until, yeah, $89. Look left. That's probably what it would back test if it was going to hold and then run again to higher prices. So I think there are deeper retraces. Look at this. Just a huge bearish engulfing candle developing on the weekly. And look, I mean, so much room to run on the downside. This thing hasn't been oversold technically since January 2016 though. So, but look at this, one top, two tops. Hey, look, what is this pattern, chat? Oh my God, education time. I mean, I've done it a billion times. What is this? Answer the question or be destroyed. What is that pattern? That Japanese candlestick pattern. I'm not doing any more analysis till people answer. Dude, yeah, XRP on the weekly and log scale is with where you have all the data is extremely scary looking. Has anyone ever looked at it like that? Leonard, no, it is not. I could see why you'd think that. There it is, Stay-at-Home Kings, got it, real fast, beautiful. Crypto Maniac, I guess you haven't been watching the stream. I've had that. Did you see it yesterday or today? Or yeah, of course, we're in the golden zone, but we're not oversold on the daily, and we're not showing any kind of buyer exhaustion on the less significant time scales, and we know those are oversold, so we could get a short-term rally on Bitcoin at any time, but eventually it would taper off and people would fade it, and then we would sell off to 8,500. So I mean, the scenario pretty much is, will we just plummet to 8,500 soon, or will we go sideways, maybe make a little scrub rally, very small scrub rally before going to 8,500? Because I just think that it's almost imminent for Bitcoin to see that critical support. Yeah, dark cloud cover, where you have one big green candle and the next candle, signature characteristic, and it has to happen, is you must open higher than your previous close, which you did. That's where, right? That's the open. Had a really nice rally to touch what? The previous highs, to reject, and then selling tons of selling came in later in the week, got as low as 102.89 before moving back up. I mean, here we are, right? Like in a couple of days, it'll be over and this will be cemented, but it has pierced through 50% of the previous candle. And the body is over 50% of the way through it too. So strong of a bearish reversal pattern. And look what happened, right? Sorry, I was looking at this and like I wasn't looking down here. So that is definitely what happened, man. You got to know these patterns. And I guess it's not technically a bearish engulfing candle because it gapped down just slightly. It closed the week at 97.72, gapped down to like 97.49, then it's just gone. So, okay. Could just be the beginning. That's nasty. Oh, is he live right now? See, mine's, I think, delays a couple minutes. I see them up there, but I don't see him talking yet. So I guess I'm just off. I'm going to split hairs. Well, yeah, I mean, dude. Yeah, it hit 8,600. But it did not hit anything. It did not hit, I mean, yeah, that is not enough of a reason to think that we're bullish. That right there, really? Dude, we gotta wait for, if you want to even play a reversal, you gotta wait for, at least for a Japanese candlestick on the daily to be created, like a bullish pin bar, or a bullish hammer, or a bullish engulfing candle, something. You're just catching a knife. No, splitting hairs for $100, 8,600 is not the critical support at all. It is not. It is 8,500, 84, 89, whatever. Between that and 80, yeah, it's like 83.90, 84.89. You get it? No, it never touched it. So, yeah, I'm gonna split hairs over that. And the fact that we don't, it may be if we were showing some bullish divergence, like clear, concise daily divergence, maybe even on the 4 hour, a bullish pattern, something. There's just no other reason for this thing to just moon, man. Besides the 4 hour is at 20 on the RSI, and those never really manifest into like huge rallies. They just turn into scrub rallies for maybe a day, and then they just dump again because the 4 hour had to get from oversold to not oversold just to get oversold again. Oh, there he is.
Our hearts break for them and their loved ones. We send our condolences. We'll be with them. And it's a terrible thing, terrible thing. So our hearts go out to the people of Wisconsin and to the families. Thank you very much. I've just received another briefing from a great group of talented people on the virus that is going around to various parts of the world. We have, through some very good early decisions that were actually ridiculed at the beginning. We closed up our borders to flights coming in from certain areas, areas that were hit by the coronavirus and hit pretty hard. And we did it very early. A lot of people thought we shouldn't have done it that early, and we did, and it turned out to be a very good thing. And the number one priority from our standpoint is the health and safety of the American people, and that's the way I viewed it when I made that decision. Because of all we've done, the risk to the American people remains very low. We have the greatest experts in the world, really in the world, right here. The people that are called upon by other countries when things like this happen. We're ready to adapt, and we're ready to do whatever we have to as the disease spreads, if it spreads. As most of you know, the level that we've had in our country is very low, and those people are getting better, or we think that in almost all cases, the better are getting. We have a total of 15. We took in some from Japan. You heard about that, because they're American citizens and they're in quarantine. And they're getting better too. But we felt we had an obligation to do that. It could have been as many as 42. And we found that it was just an obligation we felt that we had. We could have left them, and that would have been very bad, I think, American people. And they're recovering. Of the 15 people, the original 15, as I call them, 8 of them have returned to their homes, to stay in their homes until fully recovered. 1 is in the hospital, and 5 have fully recovered. And 1 is, we think, in pretty good shape. And it's in between hospital and going home. So we have a total of 15 people, and they're in a process of recovering, with some already having fully recovered. We started out by looking at certain things. We've been working with the Hill very, very carefully, very strongly, and I think we have very good bipartisan spirit for money. We were asking for $2.5 billion, and we think that's a lot, but the Democrats and I guess Senator Schumer wants us to have much more than that. And normally in life I'd say we'll take it.
Bruh.
We'll take it. If they want to give more, we'll do more. We're going to spend whatever's appropriate. Hopefully we're not going to have to spend so much, because we really think we've done a great job in keeping it down to a minimum. And again, we've had tremendous success beyond what people would have thought. Now, at the same time, you do have some outbreaks in some countries. Italy and various countries are having some difficulty. China, you know about where it started. I spoke with President Xi. We had a great talk. He's working very hard, I have to say. He's working very, very hard. And if you can count on the reports coming out of China, that spread has gone down quite a bit. The infection seems to have come down over the last 2 days. As opposed to getting larger, it's actually gotten smaller. In one instance where we think it's somewhat reliable, it seems to have gotten quite a bit smaller. With respect to the money that's being negotiated, they can do whatever they want. I mean, we'll do the 2.5. We're requesting 2.5. Some Republicans would like us to get 4, and some Democrats would like us to get 8.5, and we'll be satisfied whatever it is. We're bringing in a specialist, very highly regarded specialist, tomorrow, who works actually at the State Department, very, very tremendously talented in doing this. I want you to understand something that shocked me when I saw it, that I spoke with Dr. Fauci on this, and I was really amazed, and I think most people are amazed to hear it. The flu in our country kills from 25,000 people to 69,000 people a year. That was shocking to me. And so far, if you look at what we have with the 15 people, and they're recovering. One is pretty sick, but hopefully will recover. But the others are in great shape. But think of that, 25,000 to 69,000. Over the last 10 years, we've lost 360,000. These are people that have died from the flu, from what we call the flu. Hey, did you get your flu shot? And that's something. Now, what we've done is we've stopped non-U.S. citizens from coming into America from China. That was done very early on. We're screening people, and we have been at a very high level, screening people coming into the country from infected areas. We have in quarantine those infected and those at risk. We have a lot of great quarantine facilities. We're rapidly developing a vaccine, and they can speak to you. The professionals can speak to you about that. The vaccine is coming along well, and in speaking to the doctors, we think this is something that we can develop fairly rapidly, a vaccine for the future, and coordinate with the support of our partners. We have great relationships with all of the countries that we're talking about. Some fairly large number of countries. Some it's one person, and many countries have no problem whatsoever. And we'll see what happens. But we're very, very ready for this, for anything, whether it's going to be a breakout of larger proportions or whether or not we're at that very low level. And we want to keep it that way. So we're at the low level. As they get better, we take them off the list, so that we're going to be pretty soon at only 5 people. And we could be at just 1 or 2 people over the next short period of time. So we've had very good luck. The Johns Hopkins, I guess it is a highly respected, great place. They did a study, comprehensive, the country's best and worst prepared for an epidemic. And the United States,
I'm getting some.
we're rated #1. We're rated
God forbid that
for being prepared.
the president of the United States is live doing a speech on the coronavirus when I'm live, and I try to make it available. People driving home from work, all kinds of things where they're not able to really different stuff and they're watching. So it's
Kingdom, Netherlands, Australia, Canada,
my God, dude.
Sweden, Denmark, South Korea, Finland. This is a list of the best rated countries in the world by Johns Hopkins. We're doing something else that's important to me because he's been terrific in many ways, but he's also very good on health care.
All right. Well, I guess we can stop it, since we can't be civil with one man speaking. Okay. What's up, sorry? They arrived in Aniston. Oh yeah, at the Arsenal, man. Yeah, dude. Okay, so people, I don't know, man. It's normally, I guess, a vocal minority.
Doctors, everybody else that's working. The team is brilliant. I spent a lot of time with the team over the last couple of weeks, but they're totally brilliant, and we're doing really well. And Mike is going to be in charge, and Mike will report back to me. But he's got a certain talent for this, and I'm going to ask Mike Pence to say a few words, please. Thank you, Mike.
All right, Mike Pence is there. That's cool. Okay, there you have it. Just did it to bring you coverage, but some people are so just filled with hate of an individual that they just can't stand to listen to him try to brief the American people, really the world, on kind of maybe what's going on with the U.S. government. Okay. Anyway, so Bitcoin 87.93. I mean, you would only pull back to the upside because you're extremely oversold. The most oversold you've been on Bitcoin since December of 2019, the bottom before the rally started. So you might, you get a recovery, a small one, just so this oscillator gets out of oversold territory before it dumps again and gets oversold. This is the wave. We had a wave. Here's a new wave. Eventually this wave would end. Probably not because of divergence. But my God, on the daily, we know it could go lower. I mean, on the daily, it seems like, if you're at 38 or something, you're in bearish territory in the RSI, and we know that the only historical support below us that's for real is 8,500, it would lead you to believe soon we would see another $300 drop, or I guess less than $300 now. But again, with the 4 hour being so oversold, you might go sideways for a day or less before the dump again. All right. Buy what? I'm not buying anything. I'm literally here as someone just, hey, it's on my screen. They're talking. You know how out of 1,000+ episodes of me streaming, how often the President of the United States has gone live when I'm live? It never happens. So who cares? We also, when EOS has their trashy events, hands in pockets, we cover that too. We turn that on. I mean, it's related. A lot of people think that, I think a lot of it can have to do the stock market dropping. It's because of all the logistics and all the supply that can't get to China. I mean, that will slow down an economy ridiculously. I mean, look at the coal consumption in China is well below its average, stupidly. So that should show you their economy is shutting down. And since we are interconnected, globalization, everywhere it's going to be affected, not just China. So again, it's related to that. So my God, that you're so offended by somebody, you can't listen to just a 5-minute briefing. Hands in pockets was way worse. I agree. Dude, that was terrible. And then they had another event, Logan. Another one. And it's better be careful here, because the last one, and it dumped 30-something% since then, dude. It's unreal. EOS is Hey, you hear an event's coming? Okay, when's it coming? Oh, 3 months, time to buy. And then it runs for however long, and then the event occurs, and then it just gets destroyed. Story of EOS's life. Yeah, dude, we played SpaceX launches before, man. We played those things. Well, Joseph, that may be true, but you listen to 3 minutes of him, and then you listen to, 99.999% of the other time you listen to me. So, yeah, you listen to me, dude. Whatever. When I find myself explaining, I've already lost. No, I'm not playing a game, dude. I'm not playing to win here. I'm just literally telling you with logic why he was just up on the screen for a minute. Okay, so a lot of volume came in on the last 4-hour candle. So you see kind of the shift in what's occurred, chat, where we had big runs up, right? Elevated volume, and then you sell off, and then look on the lower prices, lower volume, and then you run up, high volume. And I don't know, you kept running on up, going sideways. But the selling, the volume was lower on the lower lows, right? And then you ran up, the volume elevated, sideways, more high volume on the run up. So it was like when the selling was coming in, there was low volume. When there was buying, there was high volume. But something changed. This candle was big time. Really what happened, where, right, you ran up on low volume and then you dumped on high volume. You ran up on low volume, and then on elevated volume, you've been selling off, right? So something has shifted. The wave is over. This first wave's done. Now there's a new wave. Get over it. And we've talked about the golden zone. We look at it every day, all right? Between 8,800 and 8,900. Or 8,800 and, I'm sorry, 8,000 and 8,950 or whatever. That's the that's the golden zone. We're at 8,800, so we're in it, yeah. Oh, and Jay, just rewind to the beginning of the stream. We talked about it. We even did a hypothetical and showed it, what you're talking about. So I don't know. We could also be setting up for harmonic, XABCD. The CDC is providing recommendations right now. Oh my God. Yeah, that is valuable. Oh, and it's not the person you hate.
We're encouraging Americans to learn what future steps might be necessary to keep themselves and their communities safe. Knowing these potential steps now can help keep the risk to you and your community low. Americans can find useful information at cdc.gov/COVID, COVID-19. And we're working closely with government and private sector partners to educate them about preparedness. Finally, we've begun working with Congress to secure the funding that we need. There are 5 major priorities in the White House request to Congress that the White House made on Monday. These priorities are: first, expanding our surveillance network; second, support for state and local governments work; third and fourth, development of therapeutics and vaccines; and fifth, manufacturing and purchase of personal protective equipment like gowns and masks. As chairman of the President's Coronavirus Task Force, I'm committed to providing regular updates from our coordinated interagency process. We've had our top public health leaders, like those joining me here today, speaking to the media many times per day to inform the American public.
Jeez.
The Trump administration is going to continue to be aggressively transparent, keeping the American people and the media apprised of the situation and what everyone can do. With that, I'm going to hand things over to Dr. Ann Schuchat. Dr. Schuchat is the senior career official at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the principal deputy director, with an over 30-year career at the CDC in public health and as a member of the United States Public Health Service Commission Corps. So, Dr. Schuchat, I'll turn over to you.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks so much, Mr. Secretary.
There you go.
As you know, this has been a difficult and challenging time, and our hearts go out to the individuals who have been directly affected by the virus and to all those who have been working tirelessly in responding to it. Our aggressive containment strategy here in the United States has been working and is responsible for the low levels of cases that we have so far. However, we do expect more cases, and this is a good time to prepare. As you heard, it's the perfect time for businesses, healthcare systems, universities, and schools to look at their pandemic preparedness plans, dust them off, and make sure that they're ready. And we have lots more information at the CDC's website and in partnership on how to do that. But it's also a really good time for the American public to prepare and for you to know what this means for you. The coronavirus that we're talking about is a respiratory virus. It's spread in a similar way to the common cold or to influenza. It's spread through coughs and sneezes. And so those everyday sensible measures that we tell people to do every year with the flu are important here. Covering your cough, staying home when you're sick, and washing your hands. Tried and true, not very exciting measures, but really important ways that you can prevent the spread of respiratory viruses. So the trajectory of what we're looking at over the weeks and months ahead is very uncertain, but many of the steps that we have taken over the past 15 years to prepare for pandemic influenza and our experience going through the 2009 H1N1 pandemic of influenza remind us of the kinds of steps that our healthcare system, our businesses, our communities and schools may need to take. We're in this together, all of government, the public and the private sector, and the CDC wants to make sure you have the best information available every day. Thank you.
I just want to give you a very quick update on the. My name is Dr. Tony Fauci. I'm the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases at NIH. Just a very quick update on the countermeasure development in the form of vaccines and therapeutics. I had told this audience at a recent press briefing that we have a number of vaccine candidates and one prototype one to give you a feel for the time frame of a vaccine and what its impact might be now and in subsequent years, is that I told you we would have a vaccine that we would be putting into trials to see if it's safe and if it induces a response that you would predict would be protective in about 3 months. I think it's going to be a little bit less than that. It's probably going to be closer to 2 months. That would then take about 3 months to determine if it's safe and immunogenic, which gives us 6 months. Then you graduate from a trial, which is phase 1 of 45 people, to a trial that involves hundreds, if not low thousands of people to determine efficacy. At the earliest, an efficacy trial would take an additional 6 to 8 months. So although this is the fastest we have ever gone from a sequence of a virus to a trial, it still will not be any applicable to the epidemic unless we really wait about a year to a year and a half. Now, that means 2 things. One, the answer to containing is public health measures. We can't rely on a vaccine over the next several months to a year. However, if this virus, which we have every reason to believe it is quite conceivable that it will happen, will go beyond just a season and come back and recycle next year. If that's the case, we hope to have a vaccine. And then finally and briefly, therapeutics. There are a number of antiviral drugs that are being tested. A few days ago, we initiated a randomized controlled trial of a drug called remdesivir, which has antiviral activity in vitro in an animal model. The good news about that is that it's a trial that's randomized to either placebo or standard of care and drug and standard of care, which means that we will know reasonably soon whether it works. And if it does, we will then have an effective therapy to distribute. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, please.
Daily Candle
Thank you
Close.
very much, Mr. President. First
Have
of
the
all, you
chat.
have just come from a long...
Okay. Nice accent, dude. So you heard it there, what they're talking about, even like trials. it would take, what'd they say, 6 to 8 months for it to really, like, come out or whatever after, you know, whatever they have to do. That's kind of alarming. You'd think that if they got a cure or treatment for it real soon, that the stock market would bounce off that. But I mean, the longer this sits out and the longer there's a real answer to get this thing, you know, killed, this virus, that's the longer it's gonna, I mean, that's the more economic damage, global economic damage that's gonna be done. So that's what's so kind of scary about it. With everything else, you know, that we've known about, like, many countries are, like, already on the cusp. They were on the cusp of recession anyway. So now you get this, and ooh, not good.
CDC said yesterday that they believe it's inevitable that the virus will spread in the United States, and it's not a question of if, but when. Do you agree with that assessment?
Well, I don't think it's inevitable. It probably will. It possibly will. It could be at a very small level, or it could be at a larger level. Whatever happens, we're totally prepared. We have the best people in the world. You see that.
All right, we're prepared, but we don't have, you know, a cure or vaccine or anything like that yet, and it could take a long time. So, I'm gonna guess. Let me turn the music back on. All right. So yeah, sorry. New daily candle where we did paint just a nasty red candle. Technically, if you're being as technical as possible, you did close below the 200-day moving average. Gross. Oh. Again, 8,500 is the 50% retrace. The most common retrace. That's not from me, that's from Charles Dow. And the fact that the daily is not oversold yet would lead you to believe that in time we could get there. But it might take a minute because the 4 hour is so severely oversold. Did I say oversold? It's oversold, everything I just said. Everything's oversold. I mean, like, daily is not oversold yet, but the 4 hour is. So we go sideways before that resets that oscillator, and then it goes lower to eventually get oversold on the daily. Sleepy cat. Oh yeah, dude, I'm super safe. Might as well be on an island where I'm at. So yeah, dude, we made it an hour. Been live 1 hour and 3 minutes. If you're enjoying the live stream, that like button, that bell, that sub. Just wanted to tune in to give you that update. Because I kind of wanted to hear it too, man. Like, geez, it's a live stream. Alright, so, I mean, dude, we just want to look at the altcoins. We can look at Ethereum first on the 4 hour. Well, what happened, man? Okay, dude. You broke out of the consolidation pattern. You've hit the 1414 fib extension from the low to high. 217.75. The 100% measured move of this pattern is at the golden mean ratio, the 1618 at 207.69. You're not too far off from that, and if Bitcoin sells off to 8,500, you freaking know Ethereum's going to hit 207. Okay. Three black crows, remember, right? And doesn't a three black crow usher it in? Like you're selling off, or you're running up, and then immediately one red candle, then another, then another. That's the reversal. You can't have, like, it's already reversed with a bearish engulfing, and there's been days of chop, and it's been selling off already, and then the pattern gets created. It's not really how it works, right? Pizza got wrecked. It sure did. What were we just talking about yesterday? Oh my God. Oh yeah, Justin Herbert's going to the Dolphins, Renee? Seems appropriate, I guess. What's up, Caster? I don't know, man. Silver, looked at it, but remember, it's like, if you're super chatting, $2 or $1.99, remember, YouTube takes 30% of that, right? So if I have like a normal minimum $3 for TTS, it's kind of like screwing the system. But it's okay. So like a nice double topped for sure. It broke out of the channel, right? There was a flag here and it just ran up and just hit that critical overhead resistance, 1869 up here. And then right above that, 1896 would have been an area resistance, but after that, $20. But you just can't break it, not yet. That's okay. You just keep making these higher lows. Keep making higher lows, and it'll be fine, man. I mean, this is just in a longer-term uptrend right now. And pulled back, probably because gold pulled back. People took profit on it, and as long as it stays in this channel, it's in an uptrend. That's it. Trading opportunity. I mean, the opportunity was this. Like, it was literally this. That my work just doesn't save when I look at the other screen and chart there. But that was it. That's like what you look at, and it's like, oh, hey, man, you broke this, and you ran up to the top. Like, you hit that perfectly. But you could have gone on the 4-hour and high to load it and got 50%, 618s, taking profit, shorter time, less significant time scales. So for now, just trying to make a higher low than your previous lows before. Okay, great. Oh, 87.10. Oh my God. Splitting hairs over $100? Yeah, because it's that 80, whatever it is, 8,600 is not a support. We were lower earlier today. Yes, we were. Absolutely. But you went Chernobyl levels on the 60-minute, 4 hours. So it came back a little bit. And now a new day, ushering in lower prices. And I do think 8,500 is next. That's it. Ascending scallop on Link. Oh, scallops suck, dude. They're like one of the worst performers, according to Bulkowski, ever. And they're only good. He says that bullish scallops are trash because their performance is so bad. The only time that those scallops are good is when they act as bearish reversal patterns. So I guess we can go to it real quick. What are you talking about? See, these are terrible. These are not good. Sorry, gotta go in log. Yeah, log scale. Wow, look at that, how it held. I mean, dude, between $3.11 to $4, $1 swing. Are you kidding me on an asset that is $3.52, $1? I don't know. It's somehow holding into this channel, but good luck, dude. Spinning top, you know what they say about that is a clear textbook definition of what a spinning top is. Huge wicks on both sides with a very small body. You got it. So that means flip a coin. It could go either way. Bitcoin goes down. Link's probably not going to do well. Dude, what do you think about, like, just think here. It appreciated in value from December 2017 to its highest point. It appreciated in value 203%. What do you think the probability is of it going up more versus down more? Probably going to go down more if Bitcoin does. Right, value areas. We don't just plot these for fun, dude. Like, when these things were down here and there was no one watching, this sat here and it was real. And it was like, you have divergence. You have all these things going on at entry for a low risk, high reward opportunity. And people want to know about, should I go long here? Maybe not you. I'm just saying, like, people are worried about Link now. These are not times to be worried about Link unless you've just FOMO'd. Right, a trader would have taken his profit already on this and would be waiting for Bitcoin to do something bullish, which right now it's not. There's no signals from Bitcoin right now that, oh, we're just going to randomly break to the upside here. But no, I don't know if I would call this a scallop pattern. The only time that I think that someone, according to the research Bulkowski did, was when you're in like a long-term downtrend, right? And then you have like a shorter-term like rally to the upside in that long-term downtrend, right? Where it's retracing or something from previous highs. and then you get like a huge dump, and then it runs up. And normally when it runs up, this is where it acts as that reversal to the downside, right? It runs up about 70% of the way on average, according to Bulkowski, and then it goes again. And that's the only time that scallops should be properly played, is when the asset's in an overall downtrend, it's retracing, it's in like this little scrub rally, and then it dumps and then rounds out and runs 70% of the way. That's what I learned about all those scallops, dude. They're just really unreliable like this. Dead in the chat. All right. You've been updated on Bitcoin, coronavirus, gold, S&P 500, Dow Jones, Russell 2000, NASDAQ, Ethereum. I mean, just name it. We've covered it here. You should have gotten something out of the stream, right? Based on what I've said, just like yesterday and the day before, where you think we would see areas of value. We're finally in them, but the oscillators on the daily are telling us it's probably not over, and the only reason why it would go to the upside some here would be because it needs to get out of oversold territory on the 60-minute and 4-hour. That's it. And so eventually, once that happens, then the daily will follow through before we finally get oversold, because we haven't been oversold since the beginning of the rally, just mid-December 2019, whatever. All right. Great stream. Thanks for showing up. I'll see y'all later. Till next time, respect the T. Hey.
Johnny M in the mix.
Do you remember? Like I remember. Do you remember? Like I remember. Do you remember? Like I remember. Do you